Breaking barriers, building legacies, the extraordinary journey of a Black entrepreneur. Welcome to the Black CEO Podcast, where we shine a spotlight on the trailblazers who are redefining success and shattering glass ceilings. Today, we're diving deep into a story that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your passion, and maybe even make you laugh a little along the way. We have the incredible privilege of sharing insights from our recent interview with Tralice Lewis, the visionary force behind Callie's custom hat wigs. Now, folks, when I say Tralice is making waves, I'm not talking about a gentle ripple in a pond. I'm talking about a tsunami of change in an industry that desperately needed shaking up. Tralice isn't just running a business, she's orchestrating a revolution in self expression, representation, and entrepreneurship. Her impact extends far beyond the walls of her store, touching lives, inspiring communities, and paving the way for future generations of Black business owners. She's not just selling wigs, she's selling confidence, dignity, and a slice of the American dream that's been long overdue. So, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to embark on a journey that's part inspiration, part wake-up call, and all heart. Picture this. You're standing in front of a locked door. Behind it lies your dreams, your ambitions, everything you've ever wanted. You got the key in your hand, but every time you try to put it in the lock, someone slaps your hand away. That's the reality for many Black entrepreneurs in America today. But what if instead of letting that discouragement define you, you decided to build your own door? That's exactly what Tralice Lewis did. Tralice is the proud owner of the only Black-owned wig store in the entire Pacific Northwest. Let that sink in for a moment. In an industry where Black women are the primary consumers, in a region known for its progressive values, Tralice stands alone. It's 2023, folks, and we're still talking about first and onlys when it comes to Black business ownership. If that doesn't make you raise an eyebrow, I don't know what will. But here's the kicker. Tralice isn't just running a successful business. She's created a sanctuary of self-expression, a beacon of representation, and a living tribute to an extraordinary woman, her mother, Callie Lewis. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. It's just a wig store, right? Wrong, dead wrong. For Tralice and for the countless individuals who walk through her doors, it's so much more. It's a place where people come in feeling uncertain and walk out feeling like they can conquer the world. It's a place where cancer patients rediscover their smile, where individuals battling hair loss find their confidence, and where everyone, regardless of race, gender, or background, feels seen and valued. Callie's custom hat wigs isn't just named after Tralice's mother, it's built on her legacy of love and service. Callie was a hospice nurse for 33 years, a woman who dedicated her life to ensuring that people felt seen, loved, and cared for in their most vulnerable moments. When Tralice lost her mother in 2012, she didn't just lose a parent, she lost a piece of herself. But in that loss, she found purpose. Let's rewind for a moment to Tralice's teenage years. Picture a young Tralice walking into Miss C's Wigs with her mother. This wasn't just a shopping trip. It was a cultural experience, a place where Black women found confidence, connection, and a sense of belonging. When Miss C's was forced out of business, it left a void in the community that Tralice never forgot. Fast forward to 2020. Tralice decides to open her own wig store. But this isn't just about filling a gap in the market. It's about rekindling that sense of community, that feeling of belonging that she experienced at Miss C's all those years ago. It's about creating a space where people can come in feeling uncertain and walk out feeling like they can take on the world. But let me tell you, folks, this journey hasn't been a walk in the park. It's been more like a trek through a jungle, blindfolded with one hand tied behind your back while juggling flaming torches. Being the only Black-owned wig store in the Pacific Northwest comes with its own unique set of challenges. The beauty industry, particularly in the wig and hair sector, is controlled by a handful of distributors who have historically shut Black entrepreneurs out. When Tralice first tried to establish relationships with suppliers, she was met with more resistance than a toddler at bedtime. Some suppliers flat out denied her an account. Others imposed requirements so impossible they might as well have asked her to lasso the moon. Minimum orders that were financially out of reach? Check. Proof of business history that new Black entrepreneurs rarely have access to? Double check. Meanwhile, non-Black business owners were being granted accounts faster than you can say systemic racism. Even after proving her sales numbers and demand, Tralice still faced bias. Some suppliers stopped answering her calls quicker than a teenager ghosting their parents. Others would suddenly be out of stock when she placed an order. I mean, come on, folks. We're not talking about limited edition sneakers here. These are wigs. But here's where Tralice's story takes an inspiring turn. Instead of letting these obstacles defeat her, she chose to see them as opportunities for innovation and growth. When traditional suppliers refused to work with her, she didn't just find alternative sources. She created a whole new supply chain. She built relationships with organizations like Meso, Kaiser Permanente Northwest, and Providence Transition Medical. Suddenly, her wigs weren't just being sold, they were reaching those who needed them most. Cancer patients, individuals experiencing hair loss due to medical conditions, underserved communities. Tralice was filling gaps that had been overlooked for far too long. This, my friends, is what true entrepreneurship looks like. It's not just about selling a product or service. It's about solving problems, filling gaps, and making a real difference in people's lives. It's about looking at a locked door and deciding to build your own entrance. But Tralice's impact extends far beyond her store. She's deeply involved with nonprofits like the Black United Fund, educating and inspiring young entrepreneurs, especially Black and brown youth. She's showing them that owning a beauty supply store, a wig shop, or any business they dream of isn't just possible. It's necessary. This is where Tralice's story intersects with a larger narrative about representation and opportunity in America. For too long, Black women have had to buy wigs and hair products from stores that don't understand their needs. They've had to explain their hair textures more times than they've had hot dinners. They've had to deal with employees who don't understand why a wig is more than just hair and settle for products that weren't designed with them in mind. At Callie's Custom Hat Wigs, Tralice ensures that every customer, whether they're Black, brown, LGBTQ+, or dealing with hair loss, feels seen and valued. This level of understanding and empathy isn't just nice to have, it's transformative. Tralice shared a moment with us that perfectly illustrates this. A woman who had just started chemotherapy came into the store. She sat down, took a deep breath, and said, "I don't even feel like myself anymore." Now, I want you to imagine the weight of those words. The fear, the uncertainty, the loss of identity that comes with a cancer diagnosis and the subsequent hair loss. Tralice worked with her, trying on different wigs until they found one that made her face light up. When the woman looked in the mirror, she smiled through her tears and whispered, "I feel beautiful again." Folks, that right there is the power of representation. That's why it matters who owns the businesses in our communities. That's why Tralice's work is so much more than just selling wigs. It's about restoring confidence, dignity, and self-love. But let's not sugarcoat it. Being a trailblazer isn't easy. It's not all inspirational moments and heartwarming stories. Tralice has faced racism and bias as a Black business owner that would make your hair stand on end, wig or no wig. From the moment she opened, she heard discouraging remarks that would have sent a less determined person running for the hills. "This won't last," they said. "Black businesses don't survive here," they warned. "You're in the wrong place for this," they insisted. Her store has been vandalized and targeted. She's watched customers walk past her shop, hesitate like they've seen a ghost, and then keep walking, unsure if a Black-owned business could meet their needs. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had $1 for every time someone told me something couldn't be done, I'd have enough money to buy out those suppliers who refused to work with Tralice. But here's the thing. Tralice refused to let discrimination define her story. She opened this store on faith, and she knew that if she could just get people inside, she could change their perspective. And change perspectives she has. Despite the challenges, Callie's Custom Hat Wigs has gained national attention faster than a viral TikTok dance. One of the biggest moments for the business came when Nick Few gave Tralice her first viral wig moment. That exposure led to opportunities she never expected, including a collaboration with Tabitha Brown, one of the most influential voices in Black business support today. And then there's Luanell, the legendary comedian and actress. She doesn't just wear Tralice's wigs. She's become a mentor, offering business advice, encouragement, and the type of wisdom that only comes from years of breaking barriers herself. And let's not forget Queen Detroit Diamond, who proudly wears Tralice's wigs and bling, showcasing them to the world like they're crown jewels. These moments of celebrity support aren't just about fame or publicity. They're about validation, representation, and breaking down barriers. They're proof that when you walk in your purpose, the right people will find you and support you. It's like the universe is saying, we see you, Tralice. Keep going. But here's the thing. Tralice isn't content with being the only one. She doesn't want to be a unicorn in the business world. She wants to see more black and brown entrepreneurs step into this space. She wants young black girls and boys to know that they can own a beauty supply store, a wig shop, or any business they dream of. She wants to turn that only into one of many. This is where Tralice's story becomes a call to action for all of us. It's a reminder that representation matters in every industry at every level. It's a challenge to support Black-owned businesses, to mentor young entrepreneurs, to push for policies that level the playing field. Tralice is actively working on expanding her brand, reaching more communities, and ensuring that Callie's Custom Hat Wigs isn't just a business. It's a movement. This store was built on faith, resilience, and love. And Tralice is determined to pass that on to the next generation. The reality is, Black businesses face obstacles that many others do not. But Tralice's message is clear. It doesn't mean we stop. It means we push harder. We build our own tables when doors close. We create our own spaces when we aren't welcomed in others. We fight not just for our success, but for the success of those who will come after us. To every Black entrepreneur out there who is facing roadblocks, discrimination, or moments of doubt, keep pushing, keep building, keep walking in faith. The doors that are meant for you will open in due time. And if they don't, well, you build your own door just like Tralice did. Tralice reminds herself every day that what God has for her, no one can take away. Her business is proof of that. She was told she wouldn't make it. She was told this industry wasn't for her. She was told she was in the wrong place. And yet, here she is, the only Black-owned wig store in the Pacific Northwest, and she won't be the last. As we wrap up this inspiring journey through Tralice Lewis's story, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Think about the spaces where you don't see yourself represented. Think about the dreams you've been told are impossible. Now, imagine what would happen if you, like Tralice, decided to be the first, to be the only one, if that's what it takes. What if you took that leap of faith? What if you pushed past the no's and the closed doors? What if you built the business, created the product, or stepped into the role that you've been told isn't for people like you? Tralice Lewis's story isn't just about wigs or entrepreneurship. It's about the power of perseverance, the importance of representation, and the impact one person can have when they refuse to accept the status quo. So I leave you with this challenge. What barrier will you break? What space will you claim? What legacy will you build? Remember, it's not just about you. It's about every person who will walk through the doors you open, who will see themselves represented in your success, who will believe in their own dreams because you dared to achieve yours. You might be the first. You might be the only one for a while. But like Tralice Lewis, you won't be the last. Your courage today creates possibilities for generations to come. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That's all well and good, but I'm not Tralice Lewis. I don't have her courage, her resilience, her vision. And to that, I say, not yet. But you could. You absolutely could. Every great journey starts with a single step. Every revolution begins with one person saying, enough is enough. Every legacy starts with one decision to be more, do more, create more than what the world expects of you. So here's my challenge to you. It's not enough to be inspired by Tralice's story. It's not enough to nod along and think, wow, good for her. No, I want you to take this inspiration and turn it into action. If you're an entrepreneur, I want you to look at your business and ask yourself, who am I not serving? Whose needs am I overlooking? How can I make my business a beacon of representation and inclusion? If you're in a position of power in your industry, I want you to examine your practices. Are you inadvertently creating barriers for Black and brown entrepreneurs? Are you doing enough to foster diversity and inclusion? How can you be a Lionel for someone else, offering mentorship, support, and opportunities? If you're a consumer, I want you to think about where you're spending your money. Are you supporting Black-owned businesses? Are you using your purchasing power to create the change you want to see in the world? And if you're someone with a dream, someone who's been told no one too many times, someone who feels like the odd one out in your industry, I want you to channel your inner Tralice Lewis. I want you to look at those closed doors, not as barriers, but as invitations to build something new, something revolutionary. Because here's the truth: we need you. We need your voice, your vision, your unique perspective. We need your courage to challenge the status quo, your resilience to overcome obstacles, your determination to create spaces where everyone feels seen and valued. The world doesn't change by itself. It changes because people like Tralice Lewis, people like you, decide to be the change they want to see. It changes because someone dares to be the first, the only, the pioneer. So go ahead, take that step, start that business, create that product, apply for that position, be the representation you wish to see in the world. Because when you do, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the narrative for all those who will follow in your footsteps. And who knows, maybe one day someone will be telling your story on a podcast, inspiring the next generation of trailblazers and changemakers. Remember, in the words of Tralice Lewis, what God has for you, no one can take away. Your purpose, your passion, your potential, they are yours to claim. So claim them loudly, proudly, unapologetically. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. It's time to answer the call. It's time to break barriers, build legacies, and rewrite the rules of success. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Now go out there and make some history. The stage is yours. The time is now. What will your legacy be?